What's up, guys? Matt Manduke here, and I'm here with a little bit of food for thought. I already covered the living within your means, and I just want to take that a step further. Once you find yourself in a career, and I'm not saying that retail management is the career for you, in fact, it shouldn't be the career for you, but if you didn't go to college, some careers are harder to get than others. There's a lot of careers that are actually quite easy to get, in retail management is one of them. That's one that I have plenty of experience in, and because of that plenty of experience, I have experience in the automotive field and experience in marketing. I have experience in, well, a lot of stuff. I have a lot of experience, but that doesn't mean everybody's going to. I just like to diversify. I get bored if I sit in one place for too long, obviously, or I wouldn't live in a mobile vehicle. Anyway, that's actually what I want to talk about, living situations, because once you find yourself in a very stable job, whether it be retail management or airplane engineering, and you feel comfortable, you're probably going to want to purchase property. And when I say purchase property, that's what I mean for you to do. It is ideal for you to purchase a house, and you probably don't want to purchase one in the ghetto, so you probably want to have a fairly nice house to buy. Or if you do want to purchase one in the ghetto, maybe you want to keep living in the boarding house and rent out a half a double. That wouldn't be a bad idea either. Getting ahead. Yes, it's the first day of spring, and yes, it is snowing, and so I'm wearing this hat. Not because it's really cold in here. I actually do have my heater on, but I shaved my head, and I shaved my head when it was warm last week, and then it got cold again. So I need to be either wearing a hood or wearing a hat, and I figured I should be wearing a different hat than I usually wear, which has lately been the parrot, but also been the wiener, and so I'm wearing this one. So you're going to buy property, and you want something where you actually own the property, because eventually that's going to pay off. So you don't want to buy a trailer, because that's one of the dumbest things you can really do. You have yourself in a halfway decent situation, you buy a trailer, you're going to be paying lot rent for the rest of your life. Who wants to do that when you can pay property tax, which, when you pay lot rent, you don't pay property tax, but you're renting, and the few things that you actually get out of paying lot rent doesn't add up. But a bigger reason why you don't want to buy a trailer is because they depreciate as fast as a car does, maybe even faster. In the 5 years, no, in the 15 years that it takes you to pay off your trailer, it's going to be worth nothing. Whereas if you buy a house, and you might get a 30-year mortgage, but at the end of that 30 years, it's worth as much, if not more, than you paid for it. Unless you just didn't do shit to maintain it, and then it's probably just as worthless. But trailers depreciate because, much like cars, newer, nicer ones with newer options come out, and then the old one's not worth anything. They progress on a similar timeline to computers and cell phones, where one that's a few years old is really not worth anything because there's something so much nicer out. So you want to actually buy a house. And if you're that dedicated that you're going to spend 30 years, awesome. If you're not that dedicated, keep shopping around. There's such things as foreclosures and whatnot where you could actually get yourself in a decent situation for a lot less money. Maybe you're not that dedicated, but once you own the place, then all you have to do is pay property tax, and your property tax is based on how nice you make your place to live, which is going to be a hell of a lot better than renting. And if your job situation falls through and you have a reasonable mortgage that you can deal with, which I think if you're financing like $120,000, you can get a mortgage around $500 a month. $500 a month is still more dealable than the $600 a month to live in a boarding house. So at a rate of, if you're only going to live there for 5 years, it might even be worth your while to get a mortgage instead of paying to live in a boarding house. Now, granted, if you're making minimum wage, they may not give you the same interest rate, but that's another story. Check you out next time.